Hello everyone. Thank you for watching today's online seminar, The Forefront of Accepting Foreign Human Resources from the Field of Children, Employment and Health. This is the second of 3 sessions of the seminar. Today's theme is Inviting and Accepting Human Capital. As you can see on the right side of the slide, we decided to establish a Council to Foreign Human Resources to play the active part in Miyazaki and support their lives through the collaboration of industry, academia, and government, which led us to apply for Toyota Foundation's grant. We actually held interviews with companies and the IT engineers who were invited from Bangladesh. When we asked companies how satisfied they were of the work performed by their Bangladeshi staffs, with regards to technical skills, many evaluated as they are working as expected or their work was higher than expected. However, for their language proficiency, although many said it was as expected, many also responded that staffs need to try a little harder. When asked of the benefit of hiring Bangladeshi staffs, answers given were such as Bangladeshi members are fluent in English, so new business can be expected. In terms of technology, voices heard were such as they show the same level of dedication as Japanese colleague, and they capture information in English. Thus, we are acquiring new technology and accurate information, which is on the third bullet. When we asked of the difficulties in hiring Bangladeshi staffs, I think the others column stands out. There were answers such as, it's so challenging for us Miyazaki people to teach non-Japanese because we can't say no. For your information, we people of Miyazaki are thought to be so. Some mention such as supporting acceptance for foreign worker is so hard and time-consuming because it is detailed yet must cover a wide range of issues, yet it is not usually recognized as work. These are the comments from the Bangladeshi IT engineers. When asked what they require going forward, in terms of work and company, answers were such as more opportunities to learn Japanese, commuting by car, more opportunities for career interviews and feedback on work, and opportunities to improve technical skills. In terms of living, we received comments about transportation, halal restaurants, community revitalization, and more opportunities for support and interaction with people who understand English needed. Max Frisch, the eminent Swiss writer, once said about migratory movements, quote, "We asked for workers, we got people," unquote. I think it is essential to create a community where foreign nationals would naturally want to keep living and working in the area rather than requesting them to stay. Some area could be enjoying hosting a skilled person within the region by chance, but this is highly dependent on individual skills. In addition to relying on individuals, this kind of discussion will be important for other regions to accept foreign nationals as workers. I myself have deep interest, and I suppose many communities also want to know. So if you could share your experience in the later point or even at the end of your project, that will be appreciated. With the specific skilled workers added anew, there is now a possibility, although limited, that foreign nationals in Japan may be able to get closer to the middle of membership-type employment. However, in order for this to really happen, we need to look at examples from other countries and think about the need of a slightly different infrastructure. I mean, we need a yardstick. I'd like to show you an actual measure in a diagram in the next slide. This is the National Qualifications Framework, NQS, which sounds unfamiliar in Japanese. For example, a person in level 6 in Ireland would be level 7 in Scotland, and so on. The NQS is set up for each occupation so that even if a person moves from one country to another, their salary can be determined and their qualification level could be adjusted accordingly. Australia has a similar framework with a point system, which is slightly different from the Japanese point system. In their framework, points are determined for each type of work, and if applicants speak English and have a certain level of work experience and education, they will be accepted. By doing this, Australia secures people with specific abilities in a certain industry. In Japan, we don't have such a system, so it is very difficult to recruit mid-career engineers. This is what is happening now.
すごく難しいということが、今起こっているわけですね。
When we accept foreign students at universities, we are skeptical whether this school even exists or if this certificate is falsified or not in the first place.
心配になるわけですよ。各国に専門機関があって、場合によって
There is specialized organization in each country, and in some case, they charge fee per person to certify qualifications and verify educational background. In Canada, this work is done under the qualifications framework that I introduced earlier using the diagram. They constantly use this framework to certify foreign nationals.
を認証していくっていうことをすでにやっているわけです。実はこれ
Actually, there is an international convention for doing this, and Japan has ratified it. In fact, I have been asking people who are working on foreign human capital, do you know that Japan has ratified the Tokyo Recognition Convention? I have asked about 20 to 30 people, and not a single one knew about it. In terms of content, fairness is important. As I will show you later, the idea is that if there is no substantial difference, it should be recognized in principle. For example, the treaty clearly states that unless there is no difference in the qualifications of physical therapists when they come as migrants, they should be recognized in principle.
差がないと認められない限りは原則認めるのは原則だっていうふうに条約でははっきり書いてあります。で、こういったもの
In order to take these things to the next level, we need to digitize documents, which is something that experts around the world are working hard to do. It may take some time to combine these three infrastructures into a national qualifications framework, a professional evaluation system, and a system to manage and send the results electronically.
そして電子的にそれを管理して送ったりするシステムっていうのをうまく組み合わせていくことで
However, we need a system that not only evaluates people before they enter Japan, but also allowing them to learn and gain experience and improve their careers as long as they are in Japan. We are trying to create a system that will allow each person to create an electronic portfolio and manage them electronically.
的なポートフォリオとして管理できるような形のものを今システム化しようとしているところです。
In 2008, I was involved in the Economic Partnership Agreement, EPA, to accept caregivers and nurses from the Philippines. At that time, I was told by a local relevant personnel in the Philippines that it was better for Filipinos to go to North America or the UAE than to go to Japan because they could use the qualifications they had acquired in the Philippines and also work in English.
北米とか、あと UAE とかですね、あっちに行った方が資格もフィリピンで取ったものがそのまま使えるし、
Even if Japan strongly launches campaign to encourage Filipinos to come to Japan, those who actually go are assumed to be those who couldn't go to North America or UAE. And there could be a small number of people who goes to Japan because it is closer than North America, making it easier for them to go home to see their families.
楽だとそんな理由の人が行くんじゃないかっていうの当時言われてたんです。
If mutual recognition of qualifications would start in Japan, people could use their skills acquired in their home country, which would make Japan a very attractive environment.
そういう環境が出るっていうのはすごく魅力的だなと思いました。
This is a program that is implemented in Europe, Canada, Oceania, etc., so it is not a wild idea. However, if we want to actually implement this, we need cross-sectional type of qualification standards and reference standards for each field, but the walls between ministries are too thick and it is very difficult to create them. Therefore, we need to gain understanding. Career line was established in several occupations originated by the request of the Cabinet Office. And that was the governmental direction. Since this is a political issue, I think it deserves thorough discussion at the high level without being contained in silos.
政策的な課題なのでやっていく必要があるかなというふうには思っています。
We specialize in IT human resources, and some companies value the technical and English skills of their Bangladeshi staffs. Maybe it is the national character of our members and the fact of them being very pro-Japanese provides a sense of security for the companies, which counts a lot.
日韓のメンバーたちなので、
So in terms of work, I think it is about their technical skills and English.
と思います。なので仕事面で言うと技術力と英語というところ。
Also, in our project in Miyazaki, local private companies and public institutions are working together, and the fact that the University of Miyazaki, Miyazaki City Hall, and our company are all in the local area to create a system of continuous support. I assume this is leading to a sense of security and a good evaluation on the part of the companies, which leads into employment.
我々も継続して地場にいるっていうようなところで安心感評価をいただいて人材の雇用に踏み切っていただいているかなというふうに考えております。
どうやったら来てく
It
れ
is
る
important to think how to attract people to come to Japan, but if we are going to accept them, we need to make sure that they are happy to be here, and we too are also happy to accept them in our society. Therefore, I hope that we can continue to work together, sharing various opinions and
ご意
ideas.
見もしくはそのアイデアを共有していただきながらうまく連携を、していければいいかなというふうに思っています。
本日
I would like to thank all the speakers and YouTube participants for joining us today. Thank you.